Members, good afternoon. Welcome to today's policy briefing meeting. It is the appointed time. We have a quorum. I call the meeting to order. There are two policy bureaus coming to give us the briefing. Item number 1, policy briefing by the Culture, Sports and Tourism Bureau. Let me invite the secretary for this bureau and her team to come in. Members, if you would like to speak, please press the request to speak button. Members, please note that we have 45 minutes for each policy briefing by one bureau, so please keep your questions short and succinct. Welcome, Secretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism and her team. Welcome to this policy briefing meeting so that members will learn about the policies under the Bureau. The administration has supplied an information paper, namely CB Bracket 268 of 2026 Bracket 01. There is also a PowerPoint presentation, that is a CB Bracket 289 of 2026 Bracket 01. These papers have been given to members before the meeting. I now invite the Secretary to give us the briefing. Ms. Law, please. The Bureau was set up to coordinate the culture, sports and tourism portfolios. The goal is to foster mutual support among the three areas for synergy. Currently, the affairs managed by this Bureau is the portfolio of 3 panels. This morning, I have already gone over the culture and sports initiatives to the panel on home affairs and culture sports. I will now go over our work in terms of tourism. Well, tourism is closely related to culture. We have been promoting plus tourism strategies. We want to make use of mega events as well as cultural and sports contents to attract visitors. We would also like to make use of tourism to stimulate the vitality of culture and sports sectors, injecting new impetus into the economy and enhance Hong Kong's overall appeal while promoting integrated development of these 3 areas. We definitely can give visitors a unique experience that they feel that Hong Kong is unique. With the sectors working together, we have registered 49.9 million visitors in 2025, which is above the estimate of 49 million. There is also an increase by 12% compared to last year, with a total of 44.5 million people. There is an area of benefiting measures from the central government that includes the enhancement of the individual visit scheme, the resumption of multi-entry IVS, the duty-free allowance, as well as the expansion of ports that is under the visa-free transit policy. There are altogether 37.8 million people from the mainland visiting Hong Kong in 2025, an increase by 11%. For non-mainland visitors, there is 12.1 million visitors, an increase by 15%. We have seen a strong revival from areas from from Taiwan, Japan, Vietnam, Australia, and the Middle East. And for short-haul markets such as the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, and India, the number of visitors has surpassed pre-pandemic visitors. We want to attract visitors by giving them a wonderful experience that is so memorable that they keep coming back. We want to make use of various events, mega events, to lengthen their stay and to get them to keep coming back. In 2025, we have organized a number of mega events, that is the Hong Kong Sevens rugby tournament, Live Golf Hong Kong, Art Basel, the 15th National Games, Hong Kong Football Festival 2025, the 12th National Games for PWDs and 9 National Special Olympics. We have, and also a number of concerts between the the 9th and the 21st of November. We have registered a large number of people. The Wine and Dine Festival has been very successful. Over the 4 days, we have attracted 163,000 people, an increase by about 30%. For the consumption volume every day is an increase by about 40% per day, which boosts businesses in nearby areas. In 2026, we'll continue to organize various flagship events, including the Dragon Boat Festival, the Cyclothon, Wine and Dine Festival, Winterfest, New Year Countdown celebrations, and International Chinese New Year Night Parade. We'll also launch new events, giving them a fresh experience. In the coming Chinese New Year, we will enhance publicity of our series of exciting events, including the New Year Night Parade on the first day of New Year, the firework on the second day of New Year, horse racing on the third day, as well as various events. Hong Kong is a gourmet paradise. This is also an attraction of Hong Kong. Last week, the Tourism Board has launched a special event attracting local celebrity chefs, promoting different restaurants all over the territory. Those include small eatery outlets as well. Film Element is our attraction as well. Since 2025, we have opened the Kowloon Wall City a cinematic journey movie set exhibition, attracting 274,000 visitors. On the 1st of January this year, we have launched at the former Yamate Police Station a cinematic journey exhibition. It's themed around Hong Kong police action films. It was very well received. Next year is the Year of the Horse. The Jockey Club will orchestrate a number of celebrations and events with a theme of horses to promote tourism. In terms of Giant Panda, the Bureau will continue to lead the Ocean Park jointly with various sectors to exercise creativity and launch more promotional activities and merchandise to ride on the craze. In terms of industrial tourism, we are coming up with different products. In the first stage in Tai Po Inno Park with different brands, we have launched various activities, including those covering Lee Kum Kee, Kiwa, and Yakult. In addition to coming up with different tourism products, we also want to tap into different markets, including high value adding visitors. Our theme is to promote Muslim tourism by tapping into Middle Eastern market. I have led a delegation to the UAE as well as to Arab states. I want to promote collaboration and exchanges. In the Global Muslim Travel Index 2025, Hong Kong came third for the first time in the list of Muslim-friendly destinations, non-Organization of Islamic Cooperation. We'll also name the most promising Muslim family destination of the year. This underscores our successful efforts in promoting ourselves as a Muslim-friendly destination. We'll continue with our work. In terms of cruise tourism, the development is robust. We have 189 ship calls last year, an increase by about 26%. We reckon that growing trend will continue. Last year, we have launched a tender exercise for the tenancy agreement of Kai Tak Cruise Terminal. The next tenancy will consolidate the management of the Kai Tak Cruise Terminal and introduce KPIs for the work of the operator to boost the appeal of the terminal. We have registered 2.51 million visitors on MICE events. That is an increase by 7%. We will continue to support various MICE activities to be organized in Hong Kong. In terms of yacht tourism, in addition to increasing birthplaces, we will also strengthen our support facilities, including streamlining the various clearance and procedures. We will continue to work with GBA cities to promote high-end yacht tourism. In terms of smart tourism, we will continue our work with market analysis as well as data. We will provide current information on a live travel map. At the same time, we make use of AI to come up with a smart itinerary planner. To attract customers to keep coming, we need to provide quality service. We want to enhance the idea of everyone is a tourism ambassador. We work with various media to launch the Outstanding Services Award scheme to comment outstanding practitioners. We want to work with different sectors and garnering support with everyone in Hong Kong to support tourism. We are experiencing a very strong trend. We want to tap into new markets, enhance our hardware and facilities. We want to build Hong Kong into a world-known premier destination so that visitors will have a memorable experience in Hong Kong, enticing them to keep coming back. Thank you. Now the floor is open for members to ask questions. Let me read out their names. We have 12 members who have pressed the button. Now 13. Nixie Lam, Dennis Leung, Chen Siu Hong, Stephen Ho, who is the Deputy Chair, Mr. Andrew Lam, Chen Pok Chi, Vivian Kong, Andrew Fan, Webster Ng, Jonathan Leung, Lau Kang Kang, Alan Chen, and Perry Yu. We have a lot of members who have registered an interest to speak. I'll set the time for each member to speak. 3 minutes. Ms. Lam. Thank you. I really appreciate the hard work of the Secretary. I saw you this morning as well. You've been here to answer questions. I've been promoting halal accreditation. In 2024, I was the first person to ask a question in relation to halal restaurant certification. So what is the overall situation? How are we going to strengthen our position? In the past year or so, I have been giving interviews to Middle Eastern media. They are pleasantly surprised that we're working in this regard. And they're also very happy to learn that we rank third. At the beginning of this month, I have received a group of university students from the UAE. I introduced them about how welcoming Hong Kong is. Before they came, they thought that Muslim people would be given discriminatory treatment, and they wonder how much Cantonese they would need to how much Cantonese do they need to have up their sleeves before they work here. They were surprised that in Hong Kong, where English is lingua franca. Well, we have about 150 halal restaurants, a jump up from about 70 or so. But do you have a target number or any goals? on strengthening our image and boosting the figures.
Secretary, thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Ms. Nixie Lam. In terms of halal accredited restaurant list, starting from 2024, we had 100. By December 2025, we now have 180. The increase is remarkable. Ms. Lam is right. We need to step up efforts on publicity. Now, the halal-friendly approach and tapping the new Muslim tourism market has been something close to the Chief Executive's mind. In terms of reaching out, as I've mentioned in my opening remarks, we have attended the tourism exhibition in Middle East. The delegation comprised some 30 representatives from the retail, hotel sectors, and also transportation service providers. In Dubai, we briefed our counterparts on our Muslim and halal-friendly measures. So last year, we said that we would subsidize half of the accreditation fee. We have already received a large number of applications, and also we have approved some of them. Sorry for overrunning a bit. Next, Mr. Dennis Leung. Thank you, Chairman. Mega events is our focus in the future. That includes wine and dine, sports events, and concerts. Now, some of my friends who ran in the marathon told me that many Hong Kongers participated in the 6 major marathons in the world. The marathon is more than a sport. It also integrates elements of gourmet and tourism. So in the future, wine and dine events and sports events, can we expand the capacity and attract more tourists to stay in Hong Kong? We need to upscale our mega events. Some athletes may bring along their family members to enjoy the great food. So let's draw reference from overseas experience and make our sports events and marathons better. Secretary, thank you. Mr. Leung, now for long-distance running, we are restricted by the weather condition. For example, we can't have marathons in summer because of the high temperature. Now, marathons are typically take place in January and in wintertime, especially the Standard Chartered Marathon. That's because of the temperature. So it really depends on the timing, and also venue is important. Actually, Mr. Dennis Leung's suggestion coincides with our thinking. Right after the Standard Chartered Marathon, we heard suggestions that with the success of the marathon, can we enhance the scale of the marathon or extend its duration of the event so as to attract more tourists to Hong Kong and extend their stay in Hong Kong? We are open-minded to these suggestions. Now, besides the preference and wish of the participants, we need to consider our own limitations. For example, our transportation systems capacity and our land constraints. But maybe we can design the routes so that our citizens can cheer for the athletes. Well, I mean, not the elite athletes because they can't enjoy food along the run, but can our citizens cheer for the athletes with our local delicacies? That's something we can think about. Next, Mr. Chen Siu-hong. Thank you, Chairman. Concerning the development of our tourism industry over the past few years, besides the jump in the numbers, I have some questions about 2 points. Now, paragraph 12, the administration said that it would continue to review the operational model of the water park, of the ocean park. Now, in 2022 to 3, the government has been injecting $280 million into the water park every year. Soon, the money will dry up, but the water park still recorded $675 million in deficit. So can the government work this out with the ocean park? Now, the water park can only open for half a year, and that puts a lot of pressure on its budget. Paragraph 16 about attracting high value-added overnight visitors to Hong Kong. The government has done a lot of work, including promoting MICE tourism. Now, the figure was 2.51 million MICE visitors to Hong Kong. Among them, 1.43 million were overnight visitors. Compared with 2024, the number was only up 10,000, less than 1% increase compared with 2024. So what more can the government do to attract more high value-added overnight visitors to Hong Kong? Secretary, thank you. In terms of the ocean park, you are right. The water park is facing difficulties. Now it's about wrong timing, actually. When the water park was open, the epidemic has just died down, and we were just returning to normalcy, and there was a change to consumption pattern. Now the chief executive of the ocean park and the management is very concerned about the operation model of water park. They are now thinking of ways to overcome the difficulties. So it's not the right time for me to comment on this matter, but I can tell members that we are very concerned with the operation of water park. We need to come up with a sustainable model for it. In terms of MICE tourism, the tourism board will continue to invest in our tourism products to attract more tourists. Now, we may be limited by the availability of our exhibition venues, but we can boost the consumption by each tourist. Now, on average, visitors are spending more for our mega events, so we hope we can increase both the quantity and the quality of visitors. Next, Mr. Stephen Ho. Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Secretary. We are very concerned about the development of tourism in Hong Kong. There are many local tourism resources like camping sites and country parks. Now, after the epidemic, the business of camping sites have deteriorated. Just now, my colleagues mentioned marathon economy. I think we are not thinking out of the box. There are lots of attractions like cosplay and esports. These may only attract minority group, but I think they can be the catalyst for larger events. For example, in Qingdao, the entire city was dedicated to an esports event. So maybe we can learn from this and give our economy a boost. Now, I think the tourism board is not doing enough to support our local tourist attractions. For example, when I talked to the local Tai Pai Dong, the owners told me that support for them was not enough. You are only putting up lightings along the streets, but not real support for the restaurants. So can we give them more support so that they can enhance their services? I know this may not be under your purview, but it is very difficult for Tai Pai Dong restaurant owners to upgrade their services themselves. Otherwise, they may go extinct. Now, thirdly, cruise terminal, there is a tender exercise ongoing. So are you confident that in the future, there will be sufficient transport for cruise passengers. I only have 50 seconds left. I will try to tackle these questions. In short, we are trying to be creative. So in terms of esports, as you may know, we have successfully introduced some new esports events into Hong Kong. There will be more coming in the future. Important esports IP holders will come to Hong Kong in the future. In terms of cosplay, we can see how attractive it is from the Anime Week in Hong Kong. In terms of Pai Dong, I think if the owners do not come up with innovative products for their clients, for example, collaborating with other cultural icons or go creative in terms of the food, we may not be able to help a lot just by renovating the streets. So lastly, about the cruise terminal. In terms of transport, over the past year, we haven't heard that there are lots of issues with transport. But it's very much dependable on whether the cruise operator notified us of the number of passengers ahead of that. Now I'm talking about integrating esports with our existing natural resources like islands and so on. 10 more members are waiting to speak, so please limit your questions to one. I may entertain a second round if there is still time. Next, Mr. Andrew Lam. Thank you, Chairman. On smart tourism, the Tourism Board has done a lot in response to our past suggestions. For example, they have created apps for tourism and collected data from these apps. That is all very well. However, with the data we have collected, can we open up these data to the private sector? For example, opening up an interface for access by private organizations and enterprises so that they can make use of the big data to promote their products. This is something we should explore. So please indulge me for another question about industrial tourism. It is not entirely under your purview, but the CSTB has been doing a lot to promote industrial tourism. I know you have been relaxing the requirements for homestay lodgings, but for industrial tourism, it is a lot more complicated. So is there a timetable when we will have industrial tourism? Secretary, thank you. In terms of opening up data under smart tourism, the Tourism Board has been sharing quite a lot of data with the sector. That's very dependable on the nature of the data on the apps. For data not relating to privacy, for example, the profile of tourists, they have already been sharing these data. For example, families from ASEAN member states, what kind of tourism attractions are they attracted to? So these are available in the data, and also their means of transportation. So we will invite the Tourism Board to study whether they can make available all these data. For industrial tourism, it requires lots of coordination by the Commissioner of Tourism For example, setting aside an area in the industrial park for tourism and catering. There are restrictions on the lease conditions. So we will work it out with the lands departments and other relevant departments to streamline the approval. In the future, when there are other items involving pharmaceutical industries and other industries with a more stringent standard, we will think about it.
Next, Mr. Champokchi. I'm glad to see that in paragraph 7, he talks about ecology plus tourism. He talks about 4 peaks as well as removing barriers. Will there be more an enhanced interface with different islands? In Myers Bay, we have seen some development. There has been organized tours, diving for oysters, and there are also activities with restaurants. Some Shenzhen fishermen told us that a lot of visitors would like to engage in releasing our fish or other livestock more scientifically. And in relation to shuttlecock, we want to know about the latest situation, that is, in relation to the closed area permit. Secretary, a question about ecology plus tourism. When we talk about this topic, there are a number of key areas. These key areas are covered by the Tourist Hotspot Working Group under the leadership of the CS. They have mentioned about 4 peaks. We will improve the trails. We will improve ancillary facilities, say, for example, charging. The facilities also include safety as well. When we have more trails available, then it works as a diversion of visitor volume. This will prevent overloading of certain destinations. When it comes to ecotourism, we need to consider the need for conservation. Marine resources is a precious resource. I understand that the AFCD has been doing a lot of work. Regarding fish rafts, there were many stringent restrictions in terms of fire prevention and other areas. People were not allowed to cook on fish rafts. We now consider whether we should allow just simple cooking on fish rafts with what people have caught. We're working with the Marine Department and various departments. We want to remove barriers. Indeed, there are more and more activities involving different islands. Ms. Vivian Korn. We see an increase in number of visitors. We're working to attract individual visitors. This helps Hong Kong as well. I want to ask, in the coming 3 to 5 years, what do you think? Well, would you think that there will be sufficient hotel rooms for visitors in the coming 3 to 5 years? Will there be additional support for travel agencies to attract visitors from different markets? I thank the member for the question. We think that the number of visitors in the coming few years will continue to grow. I would like to see a steady increase, not a big jump. We need to take into consideration Hong Kong's receiving capacity. We want visitors to have a wonderful experience. Currently, we have about 94,000 hotel rooms compared to pre-pandemic 2019. There is an increase by about 10,000. At that time, there were about 84,000. The current hotel occupancy rate is quite good. It's about 87% on average over a year. Of course, during festive periods, there will be pressure on hotel room availability. In the coming few years, we will see new hotels. In the coming few years, there will be about 4,400 hotel rooms available. This will help with boosting our receiving capacity. We will be able to support a steady increase in number of visitors. The member asked about support to travel agencies to go out to attract visitors. In the Middle East and ASEAN markets, we have stepped up our efforts. I will arrange for a participation in various tourism fairs. It's very difficult for us to get a booth in the one in Dubai, but we'll continue to work on it. When we have new products, say for example industrial tourism, we would like travel agencies to take the initiative to contact the travel industry council so that they can work together to come up with products to keep visitors to return. Mr. Andrew Fan. I would like to congratulate the Secretary. You've shown us that you have been successful. I was at one point a person in charge of a mega event. I would like to have meetings with the authority after the events. Yes, I know that the schedule of the Secretary is very busy, but I hope that we'll get some time with her. We hear voices asking efforts to be made to keep visitors stay here for longer. It's already been covered. I'm not going to go into detail. When it comes to mega events, local people complain that they won't be able to get tickets. Only overseas visitors can get tickets. Are there any ways to help local residents buy tickets to mega events? We very much welcome feedback. We need to have feedback to learn, to improve. I'm more than happy to talk to different parties, but I only have so much time. My team will help. We have a combination of initiatives to keep our visitors staying for longer. Mega events serve two purposes. One is to lengthen the stay of visitors. We have flagship events in different months, aiming to get visitors to come back again and again. For mega events, they're at designated times, so they have to come at certain times. Well, it's only popular events that are difficult for people to get tickets. What I can do in this regard is limited. We would like to do something to help in terms of the ticketing mechanism and systems. There is an idea, this real name purchase. We will consider that. In relation to combating deception and fraud, I understand that the police are working very hard to clamp down on this crime. I heard that they have mounted some operations as well. Some megastars have come to Hong Kong, have been to Hong Kong, and they indicated they would like to come back again. Hopefully, in the future, it will be easier to get tickets for these events. Next, Mr. Webster, I would like to ask about the Kai Tak Sports Park. There are KPIs. For the first 5 years, they need to organize at least 40 days of sports events. Failing to meet the target will attract a fine or a penalty. I see that there has been more concerts. Has the KPI changed? The role of the sports park in the promotion of sports is important. In addition, I'd like to know more. Would there be an initiative to launch real name purchase of tickets? A member talk about marathons. At the very beginning, the marathon in Hong Kong was actually a joint event with Shenzhen. In terms of integration within the GBA, can we do something along this line? The KPIs for the Kai Tak Sports Park were set at the very early stage. I recall that shortly after the commissioning of the sports park, on different occasions, perhaps here as well, I said in reply to questions that we are not calcified when it comes to meeting the KPIs. In actual operation, there will be different needs at different times. Concerts will be more frequent at the end of the year. International events, international matches, the China-Hong Kong football team will feature quite often in Kai Tak Sports Park. Fans come to support them, so there is an actual event that give us experience. Yes, and there are KPIs. Well, there are applications from, say, a sports event and concert. I'm sure the operator of the sports park will take the KPIs into consideration. They have the duty to meet the relevant targets and goals because public money is used, so they will choose wisely. As I said in my previous reply, the Standard Chartered Marathon is a brand itself. It's been running for 28 years. When it comes to capacity and duration, I think, well, there may be something that we can do. We may consider co-organizing events with other places. We have the experience of the national games when it comes to cross-boundary events, so the options are open now. Mr. Jonathan Leung. It was a successful year for the Culture, Sports and Tourism Bureau when it comes to mega events, Wine and Dine, Winterfest, Countdown. All these have been very successful last year. We've seen a record high in number of visitors. In 2024, there were 2025, it was 49.9 million visitors. However, when it comes to local consumption, say during Christmas, it was quite lackluster because a lot of people left Hong Kong. When it comes to mega events, perhaps you would take into consideration long holidays when Hong Kong people leave Hong Kong for some other places. Perhaps there can be family-friendly events to attract families to stay in Hong Kong to spend. We want to keep not just visitors, but local residents in Hong Kong.
Secretary, thank you. We have flagship mega events every month, and there are a lot of things happening over the weekends. Say, for example, in January and February, just the weekend past, we have had the Hong Kong Products Expo, and also we had the marathon. The coming weekends, we have equestrian sports events, and then during Chinese New Year, we have the Victoria Park Chinese New Year fair, a series of celebration, and then we have Super March. So my point is, we have a lot of events taking place in Hong Kong. Local and foreign visitors alike, we welcome them, and we target all these tourists. And of course, we are integrating more and more with the Bay Area. Within the 1 hour living circle, we do travel both ways for different purposes. So as I've said, our motto is enchanting, giving visitors an enchanting and unforgettable experience and making Hong Kong a place that lingers in their hearts. We will also encourage our conventional businesses to reinvent themselves. And we are reinventing the Yau Ma Tei Police Station into a cinematic journey. So we will do similar things with other tourist attractions for the benefits of our local visitors alike. Next, Mr. George Lau. Thank you, Secretary, for your briefing. We are pleased to hear that we have received more visitors last year, especially from Taiwan, Japan, Vietnam, Australia, and the Middle East. So my question is, concerning mainland and overseas visitors, do we have an analysis on the consumption pattern? For example, their total spending and also visitors from which country spend the most in Hong Kong. This will help us make better plannings for our tourism strategies. And also, the central government has enhanced the 240-hour visa-free transit policy, and 4 ports have been added under the scheme. So Hong Kong is now the first stop or intermediate stop along the multi-destination journey. So has the government studied the effectiveness of this multi-destination journey model and how we can make greater use of this favorable policy? Secretary, thank you. Among the 49.9 million visitors in the past year, on average, each day we have received some 137,000 visitors on a daily basis. During weekends, the number can usually rise to 180 to 90,000 and even more during festivities. Now, among them, 46% are overnight visitors, so more than half of the visitors chose to stay overnight in Hong Kong. The average number of stay was 3.1 nights. The number has remained stable over the years. It is true that overnight visitors spend more than the counterparts. They spend an average of $5,500 in Hong Kong. For non-overnight visitors, they spend an average of $1,140. So it's true that overnight visitors do spend more in Hong Kong. However, for non-overnight visitors, they may come to Hong Kong on a more frequent basis. especially after the enhancements of the individual visa scheme and the multiple entry visa. Some visitors may have come to Hong Kong more frequently. For visitors from certain markets like the Middle East, usually they tend to spend more. For events like Live Golf, the visitors the event attracts usually spend 4 to 5 times more in Hong Kong than other visitors. So we will continue to study these data and attract more high value-added visitors. Now, the idea of multiple destination tourism is very much dependable upon our own attractiveness and our collaboration with our counterparts in the Bay Area. Thank you. We still have one item to discuss, so please keep your speech succinct. Next, Mr. Alan Chan. Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I thank the Secretary and the Commissioner for giving us such great results over the past year. Last year, we faced difficulties like the tariff war. Suddenly, we lost lots of MICE tourists for the hotel sector, especially during April and May. The hotel sector was mainly sustained by visitors from mega events. Otherwise, the situation would be even more bleak. Now, our country has visa-free arrangements with 28 countries, and the number is increasing. Now, in 2018, Hong Kong was the prime overseas tourism destination for mainland tourists. But last year, we have dropped to the 6th because there were simply more options. Now, airline companies in the mainland tend to procure the latest model of planes. That's because of geopolitics. So with better planes and more airlines in the mainland, it would be a blow to our position as a tourist destination and also the southern entry to the country. Now in Shenzhen and Guangzhou, there are subsidies for fly via Shenzhen and fly via Guangzhou to bolster the air hub positions of these cities. Now, without new airlines coming to Hong Kong, and also the lack of fly routes along Belt and Road countries, we may have fewer and fewer MICE tourists, because MICE tourists are attracted to Belt and Road countries nowadays more than Western countries. So can we have more fly routes to Belt and Road countries? Now, under the individual visit scheme, there are 59 cities with such an arrangement with Hong Kong. However, not all provinces enjoy visa-free arrangements with overseas destination. Now we have more and more vacant hotel rooms, and we have more and more vacant retail premises. So will the Secretary discuss with the central government to provide more individual visa scheme arrangements with provinces? Secretary, you don't have to reply to these comments. You may supplement the information after the meeting. Next, Mr. Perry Yu. Thank you. So my focuses are on service, products, and numbers. So in 2026, in terms of our overall visitor number, by how much do you think the number will increase? Single digits or double digit increase? In terms of products, culture, sports and events, plus tourism, these are major directions. Over the past year, it has really done well So in terms of ecology plus tourism, I think we still need to pick a pace. So will the Secretary consider establishing a working group comprising cross-departmental representatives and also the relevant members and representatives from the trade to develop ecology plus tourism? Finally, on services. So I'm pleased to have joined the Quality Tourism Committee in the capacity of a consultant. Now we are focusing on two industries, retail and catering. But the tourism sector is not included. So we need to promote the idea of everyone is a tourism ambassador and outstanding services award. So we need to involve the sector more deeply. Thank you. Secretary, I think you have answered the question in relation to Ecology Plus. So please answer the other questions. Thank you. At the beginning of every year, the Tourism Board would announce the estimation for the number of visitors for the year. They are going to do it soon, and I think the number will definitely be larger than last year's. So please look forward to the announcement. Now about the QTSA, there has been a lot of collaboration with the Tourism Board. It's usually about retail, catering, as well as jewelry and cosmetic products and so on. Can we include more sectors under the QTSA? So I think the Tourism Industry Council and the Tourism Board, as well as the Tourism Development Board, can work together on this. Now, on the part of the CSTB, we have been collaborating with the media industry to tell good stories of the tourism sector. We want to commend excellent service providers and businesses and give a shout out to these good practices. Thank you. The last member, Ms. Christine Fong. Thank you, Chairman. Now, the Secretary mentioned the direction of ecology plus tourism. Mr. Perry, you also asked a question about that. So my question is whether we can introduce a market-driven model for ecology plus tourism. For example, Yantian, Qi, and also the Brothers Islands. Can we involve the private sector in developing ecology plus tourism? Now, with a market-driven model, we can make the operation profitable, and we can invest back into improving the facilities. Secretary. Now, the management of our rural tourism resources, for example, the High Island Stamp, the Po Pin Chau, and so on, and other hotspots, they are currently managed by the AFCD. So from the perspective of promoting ecology plus tourism, the CSTB is also involved. So concerning the idea of establishing cross-departmental working group, we will consider whether we can establish such a working group to promote ecology plus tourism, or introducing private organizers. It depends on the capability of the private counterparts, because country parks are huge. We will convey this message to the AFCD and see whether something can happen. As I have said last year, while promoting ecology plus tourism, we still need to conserve the natural ecology. We cannot damage the pristine environments in Hong Kong. So we will promote ecology plus tourism, but these are factors we will consider.
Thank members for the questions, and I also thank the Secretary for her detailed reply. Because of time constraint, I have to wrap up this segment. I thank the Secretary and her team for attending. I hope that in the year of the horse, the tourism industry will be prosperous and thriving. Thank you.
好，議程嘅地
Item 2, Policy Briefing by the Transport and Logistics Bureau. I invite the Secretary for Transport and Logistics and her team to come in to join us. Members, if you would like to ask questions or speak, please press the Request to Speak button.
好，歡迎
Secretary for Transport and Logistics and her team, welcome. Thank you for coming to this meeting to give us the policy briefing. The administration has given us an information paper that is CB bracket 268 of 2026 bracket 02. There is also a PowerPoint presentation. Paper number CB bracket 288 of 2026 of bracket 01. They have been given to members before the meeting. And now I invite the Secretary to give us the briefing. Thank you. I thank members for attending this meeting. I am glad to have this opportunity to give you information about the initiatives covering sea, land, and air under our Bureau. I will be as brief as possible. I want to have more time to hear from members. We work very hard to strengthen Hong Kong's position as an international aviation hub, international shipping center, and logistics center. We also work on low-altitude economy and yacht tourism. In 2024 November, the third runway was commissioned. It has brought new opportunities. Starting from October 2023, we have announced 3 sets of action plans covering modern logistics, ports, and green maritime bunkering facilities. We will continue to implement these measures in a phased basis. In terms of aviation business, international airport has seen the passenger traffic the same level as pre-epidemic. And we have registered an increase in cargo and passenger traffic. And we have been the 14th time being ranked the world's busiest cargo. We have 140 airlines offering flights to over 220 destinations. We are very well connected to other destinations of the world. Within 5 years, we can bring passengers to places covering half of the world's population. It's something that we will continue to work on. To seize the opportunity of the third runway, we will continue to expand our aviation network. We will strategically attract local and non-local airlines to add new destinations and flight frequencies. We'll also actively participate in international aviation conferences. We have taken the initiative to visit our partners. We also work on markets such as South African countries, African countries, and the Middle Eastern countries. Starting from last year, we have updated or expanded bilateral air service arrangements with a number of countries, including Chile, Peru, Poland, Togo, Argentina, Ecuador, and Cuba. We'll continue to work along this line to expand our traffic rights. In past panel meetings, concerns have been expressed on the exemption of air passenger duty. It was expanded to cover passengers coming to Hong Kong to fly out through land and sea traffic. We'll continue to expand the airport city, attracting business opportunities. The second phase of Asia World Expo has started. It will be completed by 2028. In 2026, the Airport Authority will invite expression of interest in the development of Yacht Bay. It will be completed in phases. At the same time, there will be other facilities such as art storage. In terms of the Airport Authority, they will work to enhance the capacity of the third runway. They will also improve the facilities at the Hong Kong IA Dongguan Logistics Park, getting more enterprises to make use of Hong Kong to fly their cargoes out. Starting from the end of last year, by phases, we have completed permanent facilities of the phase 1 development. We have at the same time started a study for phase 2. We are also concerned about development of green aviation. We want to improve the supply chain as well as support facilities. By 2030, we aim at a sustainable aviation fuel consumption ratio of 1% to 2%. At the same time, we're working with the EEB to build blending SAF facilities to enhance our competitiveness as well as the bargaining power of airline companies. In terms of grooming talents, we'll make use of the various funds to train manpower. We have introduced the operation of a renowned company, Elia Group. It will work with the Hong Kong International Aviation Academy to launch the Aircraft Engineering Training Center to organize courses. Another important area is to enhance our competitiveness. For the 6th year as a row, we are ranked the 4th busiest shipping center. Vessels only stay in Hong Kong for about 1 day on average. For the 20 most busiest ports, the average stay is about 1.95 days. This shows there are advantage in terms of fast customs clearance and high efficiency. We're also a catch-up port. We're renowned for this position. And the gross tonnage of our registered fleet ranks the highest. For vessels owned, managed, or operated by Hong Kong ship owners, it accounts for about 10% of the deadweight tonnage. In addition, we also work to develop quality, high value-added maritime services. We have over 1,200 companies providing a wide range of high-quality value-added maritime services. We'll also enhance our cooperation with our network. We work with ports in Belt and Road countries to build a partnership. In November last year, in the Hong Kong Maritime Week, we have signed a memorandum of understanding of our partner port. That includes San Antonio Port of Chile, as well as Dalian and Guangxi in mainland China. We'll continue to explore more collaboration opportunities in this regard. We also encourage Silk Road Maritime Association and its members to take part in our Maritime Week. This year is our 10th anniversary. We will enhance our publicity. We aim to attract high-profile delegations to join. We want to strengthen our position as a transshipment hub. We want to reach to inland provinces, forming a rail, sea, land, river intermodal transport systems to bring together source of markets as well as a consumption market. we will introduce a legislative amendment to LegCo this year. We want to expand the exemption arrangements to other intermodal shipment to enhance our competitiveness. We'll continue to strengthen our competitiveness of port and high value added maritime services. And this year, we've just launched a port community system. It offers the functions of tracking cargoes. It can also be linked up with sea, land, and air transport networks. It can be digitalized by opening up trade and capital flows. It will bring more opportunities for financing to help our SMEs. Equally important is our action plan of green maritime bunkering facilities. On Valentine's Day last year, for the first time, we have started using bunkering of liquefied LPG. We want to turn it into a norm. We hope to announce good news in relation to bunkering using green methanol. We will also like to enhance our flexibility and digitalization in relation to our ordinance. There will be tax concessions, including half-rate tax concessions for physical commodity traders. There will be an upcoming discussion in the panel. The Hong Kong Maritime and Port Development Board was established in July last year. It has a strategic goal of developing Hong Kong into a global maritime capital. It will recommend strategic policies for development in this regard. I'm very happy to say to you that just shortly before today, we have announced the results of a planning study on the development of modern logistics clusters in Hung Shui Kiu Ha Chun New Development Area. We hope to invite expressions of interest for the first site in Sekong Wai Road. Last two topics are also in relation to developing new quality productive forces. First, low altitude applications. Currently, there are 38 regulatory sandbox pilot projects. As of now, 32 of them have commenced pilot projects. We aim to regularize certain application scenarios. Some of them are already operational. To improve the breadth and depth of these projects, we have launched LAE Regulatory Sandbox X. Will focus on more complex scenarios, say for example, cross-boundary routes, passenger carrying, low-altitude aircraft, or airspace management. We will launch pilot projects for testing. This year, we are working on the action plan on developing low-altitude economy, covering legislation, regulatory framework, as well as standardization. When we're ready, we'll come to the panel. Lastly, development of yacht economy. Our Bureau and the Marine Department will actively support the government's initiative to develop yacht economy. We will remove barriers. We have launched 3 facilitating measures to attract more yachts to come to Hong Kong. In addition, the Marine Department is working with the mainland authority, that is the Guangdong Maritime Safety Administration, to facilitate northbound and southbound travel for yachts. At the right time, we'll come to the panel for reports. I'll be happy to take questions. Thank you. Now the floor is open for members to ask questions. So far, 9 members have given an indication. They are Mr. Chong Ho Fung, Mr. Chen Xiu Hong, Mr. Dennis Leung, Mr. Lau Ka Keung, Ms. Vivian Kong, Mr. Alan Chan, Mr. Perry Yu, and Ms. Christine Fong. 3 minutes each. Mr. Chong Ho Fung.
Thank you, Chairman. Now, the Bao'an Airport in Shenzhen has flight routes to some 100 destinations in the mainland with a lot of departures. So many Hong Kongers travel to mainland destinations via the airports in Shenzhen. In Hong Kong, we have some 200 flight routes to mainland provinces, or rather international destinations, and residents from mainland often travel to Hong Kong to go to these overseas destinations. Now we have the southbound Guangdong vehicle travel scheme and also other similar schemes. But sometimes coach buses are caught in congestion in the urban area, and the visitors may miss the flights. Now we are going to have the Sunny Bay to Hung Shui Kiu Railway. This railway will not only help Hong Kong, but also boost the capacity of our air industry in the mainland. Now, the Financial Secretary said the government would issue bonds to fund this Sunny Bay Hung Shui Kiu Railway. So will the Secretary prioritize the development of this railway, which will not only serve New Territories North-East residents, but also boost Hong Kong's position as an air hub in the area? Secretary. Thank you, Mr. Zhong. Indeed, Mr. Zhong has spoken on this matter on various occasions. As I've said in my opening remarks, after the commissioning of the free runway system, the passenger carrying capacity has increased by 50%. So we will enhance the competitiveness and our attractiveness through a multi-pronged approach. Our airports will also serve travelers from the Bay Area. We will provide flights to overseas destinations for mainland visitors. So concerning the connectivity between the airports in our urban areas and the Bay Area, this is our priority. We will keep an open mind to discuss the matter with Mr. Zhong and other members on using new technologies to enhance the connectivity between the airports and the urban areas. Next, Mr. Chan Siu-Hong. Thank you, Chairman. The Secretary may remember that I'm a big fan of the low-altitude economy. Now, the paper said that the working group will enhance the legislative framework, and there will be a dedicated legislation for unmanned aircraft weighing above 150 kilograms. However, I don't see this piece of legislation in the legislative agenda this year. So, is there a timetable for this piece of legislation? Now, paragraph 14, the TLB and the EAB will study the feasibility of establish facility for sustainable air fuel bunkering. So this will enhance our SAF industry's competitiveness and the bargaining power of our airlines. Now, the government has been helping an international SAF company to establish presence in Hong Kong and the mainland. So will the SAF facility be built in Hong Kong and the Bay Area? What will be the location? Now, finally, very briefly, on the intermodal transportation network of rail, sea, land, river. I fully support this. Now, the government will tap the opportunity of the commissioning of the inland river channel near Shenzhen. The river is going to be commissioned soon. So, is there any progress in terms of collaborating with the Shenzhen provincial government, Shenzhen municipal government on this? Secretary, thank you. On the dedicated legislation for low-altitude economy, now we are working this out with the DOJ. Maybe a subsidiary legislation will suffice. So the legislative agenda is mainly for principal ordinances. So our target has not changed. We will complete legislation for low altitude economy this year. Now on green SAF, we have scarce land resources. On the other hand, we enjoyed better and better integration with the Bay Area. So we will promote SAF together with the EEB. SAF fuel providers may also provide sustainable air fuel to Hong Kong. Finally, on the new inland river channel in Guangxi, now we are working towards the same goal. That is the rail, sea, land, river intermodal transport model. Now we have daily departure along the new river channel to Guangxi, and we are very pleased to have established the partner port relationship with Guangxi. In particular, in terms of custom clearance, we have better collaboration in terms of information sharing. Next, Mr. Dennis Leung. Thank you, Chairman. I'm also concerned about promoting the in-depth integration with the Bay Area. One important direction is developing low-altitude economy. Now, the paper says the government would advance the timetable and make advanced preparation for LAE. Now, in terms of locations for vertiports, for drones, and also other supporting facilities, for example, car parks, these are essential for expanding the 1 hour living circle by land routes to a 5 hour living circle via unmanned aircraft. So are there suitable locations to build vertiports in Hong Kong? Now, besides cargo, passenger carrying capacity is also important. Now, there are smart logistic parks being built. So are there facilities supporting passenger carrying unmanned aircraft to promote LAE developments on both sides? Thank you. Secretary, please. On LAE and cross-boundary collaboration, this is a major direction for the regulatory sandbox X. Now, we have been working together with the Shenzhen Customs as well as private businesses to explore feasible flight routes for cross-boundary logistics. Now, at the modern logistics sites in Hongshui to Hachun, we have reserved a site for developing LAE. On vertiports, as I've mentioned in my opening remarks, we do have existing mature projects, and we have drawn experience from these projects. Now, the Civil Aviation Department has issued guidelines on the operation of unmanned aircraft. Testing and pilot trial is not required for actual operation, and we have tested out some possible locations for takeoff and landing. So within this year, we will complete the draft for the action plan for LAE. That will include the general layout of infrastructure, including vertiports. So we will do better than just having trials. There are still 5 members pending to speak, so I will extend the meeting by 15 minutes to 7:15. Please be as succinct as possible and give time to the Secretary for response. Next, Mr. George Lau. Thank you. Now, sustainable air fuel is the trend. All major airlines and airports are enhancing their SAF ratio. Paragraphs 13 and 14 mention that the government targets to achieve a SAF consumption ratio of 1 to 2% by 2030. However, there is undersupply of SAF in the world, and compared with traditional fuel, SAF is more expensive. So there are difficulties in promoting the use of SAF. So in terms of constructing SAF blending facility and promoting the use of SAF, what is the progress and how will the government overcome the obstacle of cost? Now, I'm all for introducing or building an aircraft recycling enterprise or ecosystem in Hong Kong. Now, the government has introduced a leading aircraft engineering company in Europe to set up in Hong Kong. And also, the Aircraft Engineering Training Center has been established in collaboration with that company. So can the government brief us on the potential of the industry? Now, I'm also concerned about the development of the Dongguan Logistics Park. Now, paragraph 11 said that the government has completed building phase 1 of the permanent facilities of the Dongguan Logistics Park, where design has started for phase 2. So can I have an update on the progress? Secretary, thank you. In terms of promoting SAF, green aviation is the trend, and this is the target of this term of the government. We need to ensure that the Hong Kong airports can maintain its current market share internationally. And we are also mindful of our competitors and their SAF targets. We have obtained statistics on that. So we think the goal to achieve SAF usage ratio of 1 to 2% by 2030 has balanced all the factors above. So some may think that the target is too conservative. But we think we need to take a small first step. Bear in mind, we also need blending facilities and also the supply situation. We need to encourage airlines to use SAF with different incentives while ensuring that our competitiveness is not compromised. So the Airports Authority and the airlines are discussing how we can achieve that. Now, in terms of introducing talents for aircraft recycling enterprise and the training institutes, we have just had the opening ceremony for the training center. Now, the leading European company has already entered into a memorandum of understanding with the Airports Authority. There will be hundreds of training quotas for aircraft engineering. This is a very special profession, and we hope with this training center we can diversify our services. Now, in terms of the Dongguan Logistics Park, phase 1 has completed and phase 2 study has started. Now, the capacity of the ports on the airport island will be enhanced. There will be more departures of shuttle vessels to transport cargoes, especially urgent parcels and high value-added parcels to our airports. Next, Ms. Vivian Kong. Thank you. To enhance Hong Kong's role as an international tourism hub, do we have sufficient airlines to meet the need of future development, especially departures to Belt and Road countries? Secretary, thank you for your questions. As I've mentioned, in terms of expansion of our bilateral air service arrangements, we have been very proactive. We would send delegations comprising government officials and airline representatives to negotiate for bilateral air service arrangements, and Belt and Road countries are our target. Over the past 9 months, whether it is newly signed bilateral air services arrangements or expanded arrangements, they cover many Belt and Road countries. And we have made a lot of friends when we participated in international aviation conferences over the past 2 years. So we will strive to negotiate for more air services arrangements and distribute the air routes to our airlines.
好，
Any follow-up questions? No. Next, Mr. Alan Chen. Thank you. I know the secretary well because the shipping and transport sectors have been talking to the secretary for quite some time. We appreciate the swift reply from her. I would like to ask about one thing. 76% of visitors are from the mainland. In the past few years, the resumption of international route was slow. But now the situation has changed. In 2018, well, for US, it's accounted for a certain percentage of trade, but it has dropped. Belt and Road countries account for about 50% of the trade volume with the mainland. If major airlines are still run by expatriates or people who don't know about our country, then a lot of opportunities would have been lost. That is in particular in relation to business travelers. Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou are the major aviation centers of the mainland. Hong Kong is not one of them. I hope that Hong Kong and Guangzhou will be considered as a dual airport city. We hope that there will be a certain level of subsidies for flying out from Guangzhou or from Shenzhen. We need to have subsidies because our cost is a lot higher. We want to increase the number of business visitors. We have mega funds, we have cruise tourism. They all target leisure visitors. But we do need a certain percentage of business visitors. They're from Middle Asia, ASEAN, and Middle East countries. On the 28th of December, there is a further opening up in Hainan. So we would like to assess the opening of further aviation airspace rights. So that is quite advanced. We are still at a very late stage. That is in relation to the 7th freedom of the air. We don't have time. Perhaps we can have further exchange after the meeting. What I can say is that when it comes to air service agreements with Belt and Road countries, we have covered about 50 such cities or countries. That is our direction. We have a very close liaison with the National Aviation Administration. We've had some work communications with them as well. Under the basic law, we have the autonomy to negotiate aviation rights or airspace rights. We'll do our best to consolidate our position. In 2026, our goal is that we will explore the closer relationship with at least 10 countries. We welcome views from members when we sort out our priorities. Next, Mr. Perry Yu. My concern is consolidating our aviation hub as well as development of high-speed rail. When it comes to expanding Hong Kong's destinations, we see that the government is doing a lot. They have been signing new air service agreement. But the number of visitors has not reached our peak, that is 74 million. Currently, 61 million visitors. There are some objective factors at play. But we do need to be more aggressive to encourage airline companies to increase flight frequencies as well as at destinations. Regarding commercial aviation, can we, on a pilot basis, use co-location or whitelist? We use technology to realize co-location so that helicopters, unmanned aircrafts will see facilitation when it comes to cross-boundary operation. There are 110 direct destinations under the high-speed rail operations. In Xi'an, Chengdu, can we have sleeper trains reaching these destinations? Because this will be conducive to traveling between Hong Kong and these cities. In terms of the high-speed rail, we would like to launch more products. A couple of days ago, I spoke with Mr. Yiu, Ms. Kong. We attended an event. There are 110 destinations for our high-speed rail. We aim to increase the number of trains, the number of sleeper trains. We want to increase frequency. Various train operators are in close liaison. That is those of Hong Kong and mainland cities, such as China Railway. I have visited the airport island. The BAC, the Business Aviation Center, has completed its phase 1 expansion. It is in response to an increase in number of visitors. We want to improve the facilities in terms of customs clearance. We have mainland and non-mainland passengers on the same flight. When it comes to transit of passengers and cargoes, we would like to do better. We want to streamline customs clearance procedures without hurting other areas. We will actively consider different options. Last member, Ms. Christine Fong. To promote development of the North Metropolis, that of Hong Kong, as well as to dovetail into the 15th Five-Year Plan, linkage with the Hong Kong Western, the Western Railway link is very important. You also mentioned about northbound and southbound travel of yachts. We have a long coastline. Will you consider building more berths as well as allowing more yacht clubs to be established? We have a dedicated working group on the development of Hung Shui Kiu and Qianhai. The current model being considered is a joint operation and joint construction. We're working with the Shenzhen side in the review of our work schedule. The current goal is that tender exercise will start in 2027. It will be an open tender in relation to the construction of the Hong Kong section. Our goal is that there will be completion by 2034. There will be a joint trial by with a goal of the service being commissioned by 2035. We have quality bays in Hong Kong. Yachts, when they visit Hong Kong, will have to go through customs clearance. The director for Marine and their team are working at removing barriers. In the middle of the year, there will be a centralized processing of southbound yachts. In the past, we asked yachts to secure berth, but now we allow yachts to anchor at designated waters. We want to be flexible, so more yachts will come to Hong Kong. I'm sure that very shortly there will be an announcement from the Marine Department. Some masters of yachts are qualified to navigate in Hong Kong. However, we want to ensure safety. We want the masters to be familiar with Hong Kong waters. We want to offer training or examination for mainland masters to operate in Hong Kong. In relation to the yacht bay, there will be expression of interest being invited. There will be berth for ultra-long yachts. I want to reassure Ms. Fong that we will increase the number of berths to promote the development of yacht economy. I have a question with the remaining 3 minutes. For inland river vessels, there is a fee charged by the Marine Department. It's about 1,500 each. In Shenzhen and Guangzhou and Shenzhen ports, there is subsidy from the government. With that in mind, will you waive the application fees to attract more vessels to come via Hong Kong, to go elsewhere via Hong Kong? When it comes to consolidating source of cargoes and markets, we want to make use of intermodal approach covering land and sea. The trade has told us that has mentioned about port fees and inland for river barges. They would like to get some subsidies. We want to maintain our competitiveness. However, we can't rely on financial incentives. We need to take into account public finance and cost. We need to consider different factors and come up with an option that is most favorable. Regarding transshipment, we want to remove barriers. We want to streamline procedures, aiming to reduce costs. We hope that we will be more strategic. We want to have a top-level approach to boost the resilience and competitiveness of the trade. But in relation to the fees for barges, we will liaise with you. No, there is no other question. I thank the Secretary for Transport and Logistics and her team for attending. Item 3. Any other business? There is none. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.